All right, you're on the record.
I'm Kelly Mitchell.
And I'm Deborah Trapin.
And we're
Women on Wine.
Hey. Right?
Awesome. What kind of fabulous intro do you have for us today? What the heck are we talking about?
Well, first, before we get into all the fun stuff, I really want to just focus on important things like quotes. I like my wine like my shoes. Red. Author unknown. We love author unknown as well. And so today we're talking about heart health. It's actually Heart Health Month, and we know how important and synergistic wine and hearts are, but we're really going to give everybody the top 9 tips on how to have the best heart and help fortify it with red wine, right?
Absolutely.
So what's in your glass today, darling?
Well, since we are focusing on the heart, and one of our sponsors, Oak Ridge Winery, is also very passionate about hearts.
That's our word for the show, by the way. Did you know that?
You know what? I had a feeling you were going to make it heart.
Heart.
So,
what's the rule?
What's the rule? When you hear the word of the show, which is, of course, heart today, take a sip. John Ross, take a sip. So Old Vine Zin. Oh my gosh, oldzinvines.com or oakridgewinery.com. This Zin is definitely one of my favorite Lodi Zins. What I love about it is it's jammy berryness, but it also kind of has this cocoa side to it.
Cocoa. Oh, sorry.
Cocoa. Yes, cocoa. Not that kind of cocoa. Not like your alter ego cocoa. This actually was one of the wines that we served at a dinner party that we served beef Wellington. And it was so great with beef Wellington. It held up to it, but we also had on the side of that, we had a cherry cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Which brought out the zing of the Zin. It was so perfect. I'll totally pin it and share it in the blog later, but it's just divine. They're at Oak Ridge Winery on Twitter and oakridgewinery.com. Divine. What's in your glass?
Absolutely. In my glass, darling. Now this, I actually have the 2014 Maggio. This is a Maggio Family Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, and so as you can see over here, well, first of all, it's just me here. I've got a fair amount to be sipping on. I've decanted it because it is a Cabernet. It is a teeny bit young. So I did a test. I tested it. I tasted it right after I opened it. And then I tasted it again about 45 minutes later. And I'll tell you what, giving it that little 45 minutes to breathe, oh my goodness, it opens up big, but it's good straight out of the bottle as well. So this one actually has dark cherry notes, and on the tongue, it's got a little bit of strawberry, a little vanilla, and we've also got some very, very, very light oak. So it's absolutely delicious. I'm pairing this with my husband's favorite dish to prepare, which we just got a smoker, adore smokers. And it's a Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce that you can get in most grocery stores. And we're cooking and smoking the ribs for about 4.5 to 5 hours. It goes exquisitely with this.
Yum. That sounds delicious. That warms my heart.
My heart too. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Warming your hearts, everybody.
So I have to do a close-up of this cute little glass. It says, girls just want to have
wine.
This is wine. And what I picked this glass because I thought, that's so true. Like today we're talking about reasons, at least 9 of the multiple reasons to drink a glass of red wine every single day.
Yes.
And part of that is we want to have fun. So fun and wine go together. Do you want to start and give your first reason?
Sure. because I have had, like, the last 5 weeks have been a little bumpy. And so I think one of the things, I went through a major move again, like it's, you don't have to do just one in a year. You have to do two, really, to appreciate the impact of high level stress and high blood pressure. So when that happens, the best thing to do is to reduce your stress by having a glass of red wine. It has this innate calming effect and sedative qualities. So when you're thinking about stress and wine, that doesn't mean go out and grab a carafe and drink the whole thing, because it'll probably stress you out that you're out of wine. So just have one glass and then wait. And your shoulders will come down. You'll feel like meditating, and you won't be as worried about the world.
Oh, you are so adorable. I think one of the crazy statistics out there is that 1 in 3 women die of heart disease or stroke every single year. And so I think one of the beautiful things about wine is that it actually makes your heart happy. So your heart's going to thank you. The crazy flavonoids in the actual skin of the grape are what are so freaking healthy. This is what I love about God and nature right here. Like, take a grape. It not only tastes delicious as a grape and as a raisin, but you ferment it and it helps your heart. Come on now, like multi-purpose fruit here. They say that if you, with moderate consumption, now moderate consumption is like 6 ounces, which I totally crack up. I'm like,
crazy. Like,
I don't even know what a 6 ounce glass looks like, because all of them are these massive, like, fish.
Right? If you go to a restaurant, where do they pour? If they're a good restaurant, they pour about here. If they're a great restaurant, well, that's too much. But okay, so who made those rules? That's a United States of America rule, right? The 6 ounce.
Yeah.
Over to some place like Ireland, it's acceptable for Irish women to have 7 glasses of wine a day. I think men get like 15.
I think the interesting thing, because I was reading that too, like the different statistics in each country and how much they consider moderate versus, overconsumption. And I think, it's all about what's moderate for your lifestyle. I think that when you're a gal on the go and you're moving around and you're just rocking it and you're doing great exercise, there's leeway. It's like with everything, just everything in moderation, including moderation, for crying out loud. Like, don't stress yourself out because you want to have another extra glass of wine tonight because it's been a long day. Like, that's like the worst thing you can do. Just enjoy it. Like, let it fall right over you. Because the reality is that you're doing this to make your heart happy, to improve your blood pressure, to your point earlier.
That's a heart word, everybody.
I know. Oh, heart, heart, heart. Sip, sip, sip.
So, and if you drink all your wine or you wake up with a hangover, that's going to stress you out. So I think that that's a good key. If you wake up with a hangover, you probably had too much, so tone it down. And if you've run out of wine, we'll certainly moderate. You need it to last until you can get to the store again.
Well, and if 30%, if wine drinkers have lower blood pressure than those who don't drink by at least 30 to 40%, like, you're doing something good for yourself. I mean, really, they are really substantial statistics out there. So why? I mean, hello.
Okay, my next one.
Yes.
The most powerful wines that have a positive effect on your health. Cabernet Sauvignon, darling. The grapes have the most polyphenols. If you're going someplace down south, like Languedoc in France, it's a very hot climate, so not so many polyphenols. You'll find more in California's Napa Valley or Bordeaux or Burgundy. So shoot for the milder climates and you'll get more polyphenols in your Cabernet.
Ooh, I love that. And those polyphenols, that's all part of, again, nature stepping in and saying, we're going to just take care of you. It feels good to take care of you.
Antioxidants.
Right?
Right.
Well, and here's the thing. So that kind of flows into the next one of mine is when you actually drink red wine, it helps to sharpen your mind. Now, not the bottle of wine, everyone. I'm talking about, when you're doing that moderate amount of sipping the red wine, and they've actually got studies of how it lowers your risk of Alzheimer's and a lot of the other kind of cognitive brain declines, right? Which, as many people who have watched the show know, that my husband's family battles with dementia and Alzheimer's, and so like when we pop it open, we're like, yes, to the brain's health. Woo! We're gonna sharpen that mind with a glass of wine.
Take that dementia to the curb.
Absolutely, and I think that's I think understanding that when you're drinking the right amount for your body, you aren't falling into a slump. So take a look at that. I think that's a wise bit of advice, Kel.
Awesome. I think you gave it though.
No, you said don't if you wake up with a hangover.
Oh,
you had too much.
I've had one or two of those in my life. Okay, so here's this like is a crazy not a statistic, but just okay, so it may increase bone density in women, reducing your risk of osteoporosis. So I think if you're any woman, I mean, looking long term, you want to think about your bone density. Nobody wants to fall and break a hip and then be hospitalized, and that can lead to complications. So having good, strong bone density is important. It also helps your posture over time when you get older. But they're saying women who drink 11 to 29 grams of alcohol a day, here's the endorsement, the equivalent of 1 to 3 glasses of wine, loving it already, are having greater bone mineral density. So cheers to that and your heart.
Cheers to our hearts. Well, and I love this topic because now we're talking about something that really, I'm not sure if it's affected your family, but definitely runs on my mom has osteoporosis. So if she could figure out lab, she would totally be here live. So when she watches the show or recording, I'm certain, gonna go open a bottle of red wine and have a little sip because it's good for your bones. I love that.
Absolutely.
The next one on my list is,
where are we? Are we at 7, 8, 6?
So I'm on my third, which would mean you've done 2, that's 5.
Awesome.
So I think my next one is you live a little longer. They show that there's links between things like diabetes and not like reduces the risk of diabetes. And this one blew my mind because when I think of diabetes, I always think sugar and I think alcohol is sugar. But actually they talked about moderate drinkers have 30% less risk than non-drinkers of getting type 2 diabetes, which
you'd like to stick a Snicker bar in your mouth since you don't have a glass of wine?
I don't know. I think long-term studies show that the moderate alcohol drinking actually leads to a longer life. And personally, I think it is, we go back to the beginning, you're having fun. Unless you are kind of a solo depressed drinker, wine is very social. It's when you open a bottle of wine, it's like you're opening the beginning of a story that's about to unfold. And I think that there is such romance in the sipping and the sharing of a bottle of wine that I think that's, not only are you having fun, but you're creating experiences that you want to emulate again. You want to repeat. I want to open another bottle of wine with Kelly.
Keep the fun going.
Yes.
Okay, my next one, reduces blood clots. I had no idea, and this comes direct from the American Heart Association, whom we love and adore. But so when you do have blood clot formation, it can clog your arteries, and clogging your arteries helps increase blood pressure. It also is the known cause for or exacerbation for heart attacks. Now, resveratrol is I don't know if I said that right, It's a polyphenol found in red wine that actually has anti-clotting properties. So powerful stuff there and more to your health. And so I'm going on the 1 to 3 glasses, so long as I don't wake up with a hangover, because that's 29 grams of alcohol on the high side, as being something that's going to keep me heart healthy, bone healthy, and blood clot healthy.
Oh, I love that. And you know what I truly appreciate in that is I think it's also important to figure out which red wine works for you, because sometimes I think you might wake up with a headache, but that's because you drank something that has far too many tannins for your body to deal with.
Good point.
So, that just gives us another reason to explore lots of different reds.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bring it on. I love it. So my number 4 is it benefits your waistline. And this one is a little interesting for me because, when I went through all of the IVF in the last 18 months, that really added to my waistline. And so I really have battled. I'm like, is that from those crazy hormones I was injecting myself with, or is that about this, grape juice that I'm drinking? And what it actually talks about is, the important part about wine not adding to your waistline is what you're eating with it, not about the wine itself. And this is so true, because sometimes when you have 2 glasses of wine, you're like, ooh, maybe that chocolate cake would be delicious. So, because it does kind of lower your, it impedes your judgment maybe a little bit, but I think it also kind of just makes you feel like, oh, I can handle that. So what I was reading is, just know how many calories are in your glass of wine and just understand that. So if you are somebody who has 20 ounces of wine a day, which is 2 big glasses of wine, understand that you're probably consuming about 800 calories.
I gave up breakfast.
So, but here's what I want everyone to understand.
Wine.
That wine does have calories, but you could drink a bottle of wine and still not have as many calories are in one of those freaking mocha chocolatas from Starbucks.
Exactly.
Those suckers have like 1,200 calories. So I would so rather save my calories and my carbs for my wine than the drive-through Starbucks triple chocolate whatever. So the caramel macchiato has kind of moved to the side, and the delicious Cabernet Franc has taken over.
Totally agree. Put your money where your mouth is, but put your calories where your body is, right?
Yes, and just be aware, right? Just be conscious. But when you are, it's another reason.
Okay, it's got anti-aging properties. So it can keep you young, or at least looking young. So better than a facelift. And here's the trick. Pour 1 glass of wine, and I'm not saying use that Chateau Margaux 1965. Go to World Market and get their least expensive wine, but pour a full glass of wine into your bath. And in fact, 1 to 2 times a week, soak in it for 30 minutes, but then also give yourself a facial with the wine because of the anti-aging polyphenols that are in these Cabernets in particular. You put that on your face, it softens the skin, it gets the skin smoothing benefits going, and it's antioxidants all over your face. So great stuff for anti-aging.
I love it. So not only is it great when you're sipping it, but it's fabulous to rub it on your face and take a bath in it.
Absolutely.
This is so Cleopatra. I could totally see us taking a bath in wine. I absolutely love it. So my last is raising a glass lifts your spirits. We kind of talked about how it can kind of create a chill atmosphere, but there's this side where it actually puts you in a better mood. And I think that, we kind of think, oh, it's because you're tipsy. Well, actually, no. Because what's interesting is somebody who has in a regular room with beautiful surroundings, who's a teetotaler, is less happy than a wine drinker in a little hellhole. There's just something about the chemicals that are in the process of sipping wine. So when you're in a funk, drink up. Don't tip over. But when you just need that little pick-me-up, it's a great option. And again, if it's helping your heart and it's helping your bones and it's lowering your blood pressure, and it's helping you stay conscious of what you are eating, what the healthy choices, why the heck not? Heart health. Heart.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
So what do you got for the last one?
What's that?
What do you have for the last one, sister?
That was my last one.
Oh, that was our last one. Woo! I love it.
Last one. Okay, so I do have, I can add a last one because Life Hacker, I love Life Hacker. You can make, can I give this tip? Are you ready?
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm so ready.
So this is a drunken pasta. It only requires 2 drinks. And I'm all about saving you a tremendous amount of time and having a fabulous little meal along with it. So you treat leftover pasta water like seasoning for your sauce, but you also put in dry red wine and pasta. It actually beefs it up, okay? The taste and the flavor. You combine 3 1/4 cups of red wine with 1 1/2 cups of water, a little bit of salt, and you use that to cook the pasta. And then you can add some garlic, some red pepper, fresh herbs. I love thyme and oregano, grated Parmesan cheese. Do that fresh grated thing and give it a toss. A little bit of Romano, some olive oil and onions, maybe even a little cannellini beans if you want to make it really healthy. And you've got a dish right there.
I love it. So is that saying use it in the water, like you're basically using in addition to the water, or you use far less water?
Forget boiling pasta the way you traditionally do.
Love it.
3 1/4 cups of red wine, and 1 1/2 cups of water, and that's it.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm totally trying it. We'll put that in the blog as well as the recap, the 9 reasons why we should all be drinking wine. Red wine every single day. And I think here's the beauty of what we're talking about and the fact that we're rolling into February, Heart Month. Everybody can see we're both wearing red. This thinking and raising awareness about women and heart issue is something that we're really passionate about. And so next Friday is actually Go Red, Wear Red Day. So we'll put the information below, and we're putting this at the end so that we can cut it out later when it's no longer evergreen. Right, over there. But really think about this, because we often hear about breast cancer being the massive killer of women, and although it's very, very important, we're talking about 1 in 3 women every single year are dying from heart disease and stroke. It's not a joke.
Your mother, your aunt, it could be anybody.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And you know what? I think it's the numbers are getting worse because women are working more out of the home. They're trying to balance everything. They're trying to obtain the impossible, having it all. So just make sure that you're taking time out for the women in your world. Call them up, say, throw on a fabulous shawl and some red lipstick, and we're going to go out and have a glass of red wine and talk about how we're going to be healthier this year so that our hearts are pumping much longer, so that someday we can be old ladies with purple hair, sitting on the porch, laughing our butts off over more red wine with healthy hearts.
Absolutely. Cheers to that. And cheers to you.
Cheers to you, too. I was going to pour yes, Art. So if anybody wants to jump on in, hey, John Ross, this is your first time on Blab, so if you want to pop over.
We have a Blab virgin.
Yes. So you'll see there's a little box underneath the 2 of us. Just go ahead and ask for access, and you can jump on in, and you can see what this is like.
And I love that Art Jones is going to now have red wine instead of a cocktail. You are uber cool. Rockstar Art Jones. Take care of that heart. Oh my God, is this John Ross?
Hey, everybody.
Woohoo.
You guys are funny. I guess you have inspired me.
That's excellent.
You have inspired me. I only have tequila and bourbon right now in the house, and I'm going to go out and get my favorite Zin. I have to. I mean, You guys are having way too much fun, and it's way too cool to blab. I am truly look. I'm now jealous. Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll do a toast. Let's do a toast to art.
Well, and this is not tequila, but this is my water mug.
Right on, Art.
Art, I'm not sure if you were here earlier when we were talking about wine drinkers actually have a 34% lower mortality rate than people who drink beer or spirits.
Well, I totally wholeheartedly endorse that, and to that extent, I extend that theory to cognac because cognac comes from grapes.
Yes.
And there's a Mendocino vintner turned cognac-esque. I can't say it, it's a French word, but they make cognac out of the grapes. Jermaine Robin makes a fantastic cognac. So I endorse drinking that for my heart healthiness as well.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
It's so intense.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Awesome.
I love it. I haven't had cognac for a very long time, but you've inspired me now. I'm like,
Well, the thing about most cognacs is it will burn the roof of your mouth off. But Jermaine Robin is a fraction of the cost of Louis XIV. The Lalique glass cognac that you see in the you see it in Dana Point at the Montage, the hotel there, because you don't ask for the price, the $50 a snifter, you just buy it. Well, you can buy a thing they call it was Anno Domini. They made it in 1999 before the year 2000, and Forbes magazine rated this $250 cognac from Mendocino as good, if not better than, the $1,500 Lalique glass encased cognac.
Wow, I'm gonna have
from
to
Louis
try
XV.
that. Thank you for the tip.
Jermaine Robin, you'll really enjoy it. And they also make a great vodka spirits. You can tell I enjoy spirits. That's called Hangar One, and they don't make it, actually. They distribute it, and it's out of the Bay Area. It's near Oakland, and it's that little place that used to be a naval base that now is a bunch of artisan things going on there.
Moffett Field?
Not Moffett. That's more Santa Clara. This is in the North Bay, on the Oakland side or the Berkeley side of the bay, and it used to be a little naval base there. Hangar One is where their vodka magic happens. But I'm a Zinfandel drinker, so
Yes.
or anything from Rutherford Ridge in Napa, I go crazy. I'll just drink it. And
I have to put that on my list as a place to visit. Deb, we'll have to put that on our list as a place to go next time you're in town.
Are you guys in Napa?
I'm in Napa.
Are you too, Deborah?
No, I'm actually up in Seattle.
Ah, and John, where in Canada?
Ontario, near
Oh.
about an hour and a half from Toronto.
How cool is that? North or south or east or west?
East, about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. And I've only been here about 2 years, but there's wine country south of here as you go south toward the border. And, we've been making wine around the world in some of the places that never made wine before in the last, 20 years. It's gotten great.
Is there an AVA, a formal AVA yet, or are they working on that?
I think they're working on that. I don't drink much wine from Arizona, actually. I must say, and I was in New York for a while, and I didn't get to drink much California wine because they're all about France and Italy there.
Oh yeah,
but I'm glad to be back on the West Coast where I can get a good old vine Zin from Northern California.
So have you tried the Oak Ridge Winery?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So they're actually they partner with us. We do a lot of stuff with the Maggios, and one of the biggest lessons we learned with that amazing family was that they actually grow a very substantial number of the grapes that are used in Napa Valley wines.
Coming from Lodi.
Yeah, go Lodi. Whoop, whoop.
Lodi.
And so
That's
I
right.
have no idea what that is.
I joined the Naked Wines.
Lodi's a city, John.
Okay.
2 hours east of Napa.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, it's in the middle of nowhere. You end up in wine country and you're like, what just happened here?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the middle of nowhere. It's near Stockton, which was belly up in the housing crash of 2008, was just what, a half hour away, maybe not even that far from Lodi.
Yeah, a little north and a little east.
Here's to the rebound.
What is in your glass?
Just to the rebound, yes, yes.
What are you drinking, John Ross?
We have to know.
Every day this year, I've decided I'm not going to drink the same wine twice. So I've been on an adventure with Vivino. I know you people are involved in Vivino.
Love it.
I'm number 650 in all of Canada, just so you know. Not that it's a big deal or anything. But on my quest, I found I've never heard of this grape. It's called Pinotage.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
I have never tried this before. It's good. I don't love it. There's not much to it. There's no finish, but it's pretty fair. I could pretty much serve this with absolutely anything that I would cook.
Is Pinotage like Meritage?
I think it probably has something to do with like a Pinot Noir, because it's like the lightest Pinot Noir I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
But this one's from South Africa. A lot of the wines I've been tasting I've been trying to go outside of the continents that I'm used to. So I've been in Chile, Australia, South Africa a fair bit the past month or so. But it's really hard to drink wines that you're not used to drinking.
Yeah, and those countries have most of their reds are a little thinner than we're used to.
Yeah.
And so when you're opening it up and you're expecting like a Rioja, like a big, bold, or a Zin or a Cab, you're like, oh, where do I go?
I think the French wines are not as big of a deviation from what the like Northern California wines are. So you may have a little bit more luck with France and Italy. I mean, Italy actually started making wine before even the French did. And that's on record in history. The French do it a little bit better. Well, it depends.
So I'm going to go out.
About this.
I'm going to take my water jug and trade it in for a bottle of Zin. So I'm going to leave this space open for some of the other interesting people out there that can actually hold this.
So nice to meet you, Art.
I'm going to be back one of these days. You guys blab every Wednesday evening?
We don't do every Wednesday, but we do promote when we are on. So we do a show called Women on Wine TV.
Well, and I feel a bit like an interloper because, as you can tell, I haven't blow dried my hair, but I'm not a woman, so I feel like an interloper coming into your blab now. I mean,
not at all. We're the women on. We speak to everyone, but we welcome everybody.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'll be back then. Thanks, guys.
All right, Art.
Nice meeting you both. Hey, John. Take care.
I love it.
Nice dude. Oh, and John Ross popped off as well. It's great to have John Ross there.
I know. That's so super fun. I see my girl April is giving us props, but I don't know if she's actually ever been on the screen.
Is she going to pop into
I don't know, April, if you are camera brave and ready, jump in, sister. Just go to the little open seat and pop on in. Anyone else, feel free. Ooh, 2 women and a hoe.
I'm hoping they're farmers.
I want to know what that is. I wonder if they're related to Hard Rodaho.
I'm hoping they're farmers. Maybe they grow grapes.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, they are gardeners. Yay. How cool is that? Are you going to pop into the blab with us?
I love it. Oh, she says gardeners.
I love that, though. You know what? Here's the thing about living here that blows my mind. Up in, this is such agricultural land. It's just how much I didn't know about gardening or farming or anything agriculture related. And now how much I'm learning. And I'm so appreciative of what goes into, the process of doing that. So 2 women and a hoe, you are welcome in any time. We would love to hear from you. I need lessons.
That's so great, right? Well, you're kind of in the center of, it is farming. I mean, people call it wine country, but it's farm country. It's just the different kind of, produce they're growing. So I can see how that would just start tickling your fancy for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that we inspired Art to go out and buy some Zin. And I love that he knows Oak Ridge. Of course he does. Who doesn't, right?
Well, and everybody does now. Everybody does. The Maggio family, we have to do a special thank you to a couple of our favorite people, Shelly and Raquel Maggio, Mr. Maggio, the amazing patriarch of the family, and their winemaker too. He rocks. He's like amazing. They're all amazing. So thank you, everybody, for giving us the opportunity to share your wine with the world. And anything that you have in closing, babe?
Yeah, I think that, one of the things that we're kind of pivoting our lives and our world. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of do just a little clip here at the end. We can do some fun things with it, but talk about the fact that, you've got a really cool adventure coming up that we're totally going to do a conversation about on Women on Wine TV. But I thought it would be fun just to kind of say, you're going to see us probably a little less live, but you're going to see Kelly talk about wine a lot more and kind of the lifestyle of it. Do you want to kind of just give a quick little teaser about what people can expect to hear about soon?
A little teaser. Let's see. Well, so things are unfolding, and as much as I would like to have control over everything that's happening and know what the next steps are, I really don't. But what I'm finding is I'm going to be talking more about the food industry, specifically restaurants, and how that relates to wine. And then at more events, which is kind of exciting. So I'm actually tomorrow, well, let's not say tomorrow, but I'm covering a VH1 event tomorrow out in Calistoga, California. Food and wine's involved, Solbon and a Michelin star chef are involved. There's an amazing musician. If you look for my tweets on about VH1, you'll see the tweets about this musician, but they're literally doing a music and food and wine pairing. So 3 pairings happening simultaneously. And I'm all about kind of blowing the doors off of the startups, the smaller wineries, the ones you don't hear about, the ones in some cases that are getting eaten alive by the big wineries. So that's kind of a tidbit of what you'll hear, and that's from the Wine Siren. Thank you, Deb, for that. And what about you? Because you're doing so much, and there's pivots going on. I don't want to say reinvention so much as making what we have better in our lives and professionally. What's going on with you right now?
Yeah, I keep getting this visual of hopscotch. Like, I feel like we're in this like wickedly fun game of business hopscotch. And there's some jumps, there's some shifts to the right and to the left, there's pivots so that we can get where we need to go. And, D11's doing the same thing. I think that what I love about our mission and highlighting these really amazing, just pure-hearted, cool-intentioned human beings, whether they're winemakers or chefs or event planners, or in my case, maybe a woman CEO or a VP of brand development, just trying to bring kind of both of our worlds together. And the one big thing it all has in common is wine. And so I'm going to start to do a little bit more around firing up and with a glass of wine. And, I think that the cool part about where we're both going is with the Wine Siren for you and with the D11 Fire Up mission is that it all focuses on getting the best information, kind of the hidden information, and the information that people want to share but don't know where to share it with us. How cool is
Living
that?
your absolute best life. And that's professionally as also in your leisure time or how you're putting things together. It's really about living your best life possible. And we need to do an episode, you and I, on reinvention with wine.
I love it. I think that's a great idea. I think that there's so many conversations that have been inspired and sparked between the two of us over the last, oh my goodness, 5 years. And wine is always involved, always.
It's necessary.
Yes, I'm looking forward to next, the next steps, the next phases to really helping, these boutique wineries, ideally with a female, either winemaker or owner, somebody who's really passionate about shining a light on women. For us in the show, drinking great wine and then supporting the Wine Siren and D11 in really cool, awesome ways. So I'm really looking forward to that, my friend. That it warms my heart.
Yay!
And so to that, I say cheers.
Cheers, babe. Woohoo!
So we may do a quick wrap here. It's not really a traditional show today, but thanks so much to everybody who popped in, took a moment to leave us a little note on the side, was brave enough to jump in one of the other spots, and share some chat with us, share a couple of sips with us, share your thoughts about what wines you love, why you drink red wine every day, of course. If you're watching us after the fact, feel free to jump in the social stream using Pound Women on Wine. We watch that all week long, and we love having conversations in the in-between time from when we're in the studio live and when we're out on the street sipping wine day and night. With that, be Sue, my friends.
You too.
Take care.